warm and friendly. This is Boo Boo. He's an orange cat who's really hungry for a glass of milk. The problem is, Boo Boo only has fish. His neighbor Mimi has milk, but she doesn't want fish. She wants yarn. To get his milk, Boo Boo has to find someone who wants fish and has a rock, then find someone who wants a rock and has yarn, just so he can finally trade with Mimi. This is what historians call the double coincidence of wants. For a trade to happen, you have to find someone who has exactly what you need, but who also happens to want exactly what you're holding. It's a massive waste of time. To solve this, humans invented a magic ticket that everyone agreed to accept. We call it money. It acts as a bridge, so you don't have to spend your whole day running in circles just to get lunch. For this tool to work, it has to do 3 simple things. First, it has to be an easy way to buy and sell without trading actual items. Second, it acts like a ruler, giving us a way to measure the price of a house versus the price of a sandwich. And finally, it acts like a battery, storing the value of your work today so you can spend it years from now. Money itself isn't a house or a meal. It's a tool, a shared social contract that lets us cooperate and trade our time with people we've never even met. Imagine the global economy is a giant board game. In the early rounds, players used items that were rare and hard to find, like gold coins. If Boo Boo wanted milk, he'd slide a heavy gold coin across the table. As the game grew, carrying sacks of heavy gold became a chore, so players started locking their gold in secure vaults and trading lightweight paper receipts instead. Back then, paper money was considered sound. It was a claim on something real. You could walk into a bank, hand over your paper, and the banker had to give you the physical gold it represented. The rules were fair because gold is incredibly difficult to pull out of the ground. The supply was limited, which meant no single player could suddenly cheat and create more wealth out of thin air. But eventually, the rules were changed. A banker cat in a suit stepped onto the board, took away the gold, and told everyone they had to use new paper bills that weren't backed by anything in the vault. This happened in the real world in 1971. President Richard Nixon officially severed the link between the US dollar and gold. This was the birth of fiat money. The word fiat just means by decree. This money only has value because the government says it does. It's like using the colorful paper from a board game in real life. The people who control the supply of this paper are called central banks. They sit at the very center of the system, holding the ultimate rulebook for the economy. We are now playing a game where the value of our money depends entirely on trusting the banker cat not to print too much of it. The problem is that once the banker cat can create money for free, it's hard for him to stop. Whenever the bank or the government needs more money, he just turns on the press and prints as much as he wants. When you flood the board with new paper, each bill becomes less rare. Suddenly, Boo Boo's milk jumps from costing 1 coin to 10 coins. This chart shows how much the world's major currencies could actually buy between 2002 and 2020. You see a dramatic plunge. The items you're buying aren't becoming more valuable. It's the money itself becoming worthless because so much is printed. This forces regular people onto a treadmill. They have to work harder and longer just to afford the same basic things they used to buy with ease. This system also creates a massive trap. When the banker cat prints near money, he gives it to his closest friends, big banks and wealthy investors, who spend it immediately to buy up property and stocks. By the time that money trickles down to everyone else through wages, those early buys have already pushed up prices, leaving the average worker behind. When money is mismanaged, it isn't just a game. History shows it leads to empty savings and families struggling to find their next meal. If giving a small group of people total power over money always leads to manipulation and unfairness, is there a way to take that power away? History proves that when a system fails, we build a better one. We are now seeing the rise of a new kind of money, one that is digital and lives on a global network that no single banker, government, or cat can control. It is money with a fair set of rules that no one can change.